Hello. So I decided that for my second video that I would do a kind of sketchbook tour and kind of explain some of the benefits of keeping a sketchbook. Now this sketchbook tour is kind of it's not going to be like the ones you usually see on YouTube that are like Cal Arts and like these really intense sketchbooks with like full illustrations. Like I think that there are almost no full illustrations in this sketchbook, and I think that's okay. I mean, it was kind of a personal sketchbook, and this is kind of a preview into how I would say senior year of college was for me, even into graduating maybe. I don't quite remember because I mean, like, it's called Sketchbook 1, but of course this isn't my first sketchbook. But it was like my first sketchbook of me being like, you know what, I kind of do want to do this art thing. So yeah, let's dig into it. I really just want to tell you why I started a sketchbook and why you might want to. So yeah, and of course I'll go through some of the dumb things in here. So of course I don't have one of those glamorous like first pages. It's just like green girl thought she was cute and I was trying out my markers. I think this was during Kineticon. I'm a huge nerd, huge anime nerd, so actually this is kind of cute, so I might actually turn this into a fully rendered thingy. You might see that in a later video. But yeah, so one of the most fun parts about like art for me is actually swatching. Like, some people might think it's really boring, but it's really fun for me to be able to tell like the variations in colors and stuff. And so like I love swatching and just playing around with new stuff. So this is when I got my Ohuhu markers, which are ironically right here because I was thinking of doing a video on that, but that's for next time. So I got my Ohuhu markers and I got some watercolors, and I was like, let me just play around and have some fun. So that brings me into like reason one to have a sketchbook. Oh wow, I do have kind of a full piece, but that was when I couldn't draw hands. This was actually inspired by a friend that I love very much. But yeah, one of the better reasons to have a sketchbook is because it reminds you like how to play around. I think that as we grow older, we forget like what playing even means. And often I have to actually put myself back into the mindset of playing because I just don't know. I don't know, like I guess I'm just like overwhelmed easily. And it's good reason to be overwhelmed. Like, the world is like a scary place and very sad a lot. Especially these days. Let me make sure that this whole thing is being included. Yes, okay. But I mean, it's very easy to become overwhelmed with COVID-19 and the racial issues that have been going on with Black Lives Matters, which is very important to me. So I just want to put that out there. And all of those issues, we can forget that like life can still be fun. So I think a sketchbook kind of just like, I mean, the reality of the situation is, sorry to cut myself off. The reality of the situation is that everyone used to be able to play and sketch and put things together and build things. Wow, I really said there would be no full illustration type stuff in here, but I just went past like 3. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. But yeah, we used to play a lot, and now we don't. I think getting older just ruins life. And I mean, not ruins life, it's just we forget like why life was worth living, I guess. And maybe that's also speaking to my mental illness and my issues that I'm dealing with currently, and I've been dealing with for a long time, that I will speak about in a later video. But I think one of the bigger things when it comes to like growing up and finding ourselves or finding reason to not be sad, or being able to battle that fight of depression and anxiety and stuff, is like finding the fun stuff. Also, this is one of my favorite pieces on earth. That's why I'm still sitting here, because this is like My everything. This is like one of the reasons I love doing art. It's like these repetitive lines. Like I'm so like I'm trying to get back into that like obsessive stuff. Like I'm like, ah. But yeah, like I think that we continue to like be disappointed with ourselves, but we never really give ourselves reason to be proud of ourselves, if that makes sense. Like we don't take a moment and think about all the things we've done in our life up to this point, and all the ways that we've succeeded, from the A's in classes and tests to the progress reports, to our own personal victories that have to do with like teaching your dog how to sit, or like going on a walk. Like, I mean, as we age, those things become more simplified and like harder to react to, but that doesn't mean that they're any less worth celebrating, if that makes sense. Also, you'll notice a bunch of artists on this page, because these are like, when I was practicing and trying to get more into art, I was told over and over again to like find the people that inspire me and find the things that inspire me. And so I pretty much drew one of my favorite faces from a bunch of Instagram artists. You might notice Iraville. She's very, very popular. Feefal, Gracei, who I think are both on YouTube. Drawing with Waffles is one of my biggest YouTube inspirations. Fruit Baskets, Tim Burton, Ariel Magic, a webtoon, and Lore Olympus and Seed are also webtoons, and Gravity Falls. Qinniart, rest in peace. She actually passed away recently, but she was a big inspiration for me. You can look up all these people. I'll actually link them in the description, other than the big ones like Tim Burton and Gravity Falls, but Hirokawahara and Qiarateor, all of those are kind of, I called it my style sheet, because they're just like styles that I love. You won't really see it like in my own art, but it's like, I don't know, it's good to draw that stuff. And that brings me into another point of keeping a sketchbook, which is like, when you recreate stuff, you also feel like a creator when it's done with your own two hands. And I'm not talking about like tracing, because that's a big no generally, but like when you're actually like resketching characters that someone's drawn, and you do it for yourself. So this is my sketchbook. Like almost no one sees this page, but like when I finished this cute little style sheet, I was like, oh, like good for me. Like I was like, I did that. Like I took the time and I sat down with myself, and there was no profit. There's still no profit. And I did this for me. And that kind of goes on to another point. Also, this is a page that was done at my place with all my friends. We were just playing around with my Ohuhu markers, and this is what they came up with. But I mean, I don't know, like it's such a lax sketchbook. Like I doubt you'll see anything like this like on YouTube, because everyone's so serious, and I'm like, nah, just freaking let everyone scribble in here and write their little things. See me, bitch. Bitch, blend me. Graphic design is my passion. Art. You know, like, that's funny. I think stuff like this reminds me to like have fun bubble butt. Like, it's like I'm pointing at like a pretty awful drawing, I'd say, or you know, like a pretty awful drawing. And you'll see my inspiration from Chelsea Gracei a lot, because I adore her. That's pretty much like it. But yeah, like it doesn't have to be that serious. Like, you can take art seriously, but actually a lot of the people who I see that are very popular and stuff, they take it seriously to a point where it's like they still remember like how much fun it is to create. Because if you're not having fun creating, then it's kind of like, what's the point? And that kind of goes into anything. Like, in general, I consider almost all human beings creators on some level. whether you're saying a sentence that may have never been said before. Like, you never know, like, you're making up words, you're bringing ideas to life just by existing. And so if you're not having fun creating like something, anything, then it might be possible that you're just not having fun existing. And I see a lot of people confused and feeling bad about feeling like they don't have a purpose. Like, there's no one thing that they're really good at. Like, this comes up to me so often. Wait, I don't know if I stayed on this long enough, because this one was cute. This was cute. Cute. Okay. But I get that a lot, where people are like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, like, and I don't feel like I have a purpose. I just feel like I'm kind of slipping through life. And Lola, like, you're so, like, you can draw and you like music. What was this? I'm gonna rip it. But you can draw and you like music and you learn to knit and you're roller skating. And it's just like, I literally just do random stuff. Like, I never know what I'm doing, like, ever. The only thing that I've finally sat down and been like, ah, yes, I really want to do this and I really have goals and aspirations with this, is literally just art. Like, and I'm like, literally, like, do stuff. Like, literally all you have to do is kind of go out there and like try, I guess. Like, not try, but like, I don't know, you have to go out there and look at a list of a bunch of stuff. Like, look at a list of a bunch of stuff that other people are doing, whether it's roller skating, knitting, crocheting, wire wrapping. These are things that I've been into, but of course the list is non-exhaustive. Yeah, whatever it is, look at that list and just start like checking things off on it. Like, nothing's that, I don't know, it's not that serious, sweet whore. Don't worry about it, sweet whore. Don't worry about it. It's just you will be okay. Now, another reason to keep a sketchbook is to reserve sorry, I'm like blanking on the word memories. Preserve memories. So this so I mean, the sketchbook I'm keeping is mixed media, so I just do everything in here, which I'm sure you've noticed. I have the alcohol markers in here. These were watercolor markers, which are also over here. Tanimate dual tip markers that are very thin, and that's why I had fun with them. But I was doing art for a literary magazine at Ithaca College, actually, because I was asked to do it, which is really neat, because I was like, I'm not that great, but I guess, like, if someone thinks you're good enough and they ask you, then I guess that means you're good enough for them. So, I mean, I was doing like actual pieces in here, even though it was like my like sketchbook. I just was like, oh yeah, let me have fun. And that was a way for me to preserve my memories in this one sketchbook. One of the biggest things I regret, though, is not putting dates. But that kind of goes into here, which is, this was a literary festival. Like, imagine, like, these are like faces of people from the literary festival that I was at. It's actually Ithaca's I was a guide there. Oh, New Voices, Ithaca's New Voices Festival, and there are a bunch of cool authors that like come around and they talk about their lives and stuff. And so what I did was I like drew their faces kind of as best as I could, and I wrote some quotes like, you don't need to write every day, because I also like wanted to be a writer, and I still want to be a writer. It's just that it's hard to balance so many big things that you want to be, so I'm just like taking it one step at a time. And no art is apolitical. All art is innately political, and like confidence makes a difference. Identifying as a writer helps. Like, I had to choose. It's not about how you look, it's about how you act. Like, these really intense quotes. And it's really funny because like remembering these quotes, remembering the people with these quotes, they were pretty different like from their quotes. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like they just felt different from their quotes altogether, except for this one, Sarah. And I can link these people if you really want them. I would like Sarah, of course, because I have her book now. But yeah, I don't know why these four are so awkwardly displayed on this page. And also, I'm obviously not a professional. Anyways, so we have our dedicated aho guy face for the freaks out there. But yeah, memories. Again, memories. You can treat your sketchbook as a journal. I know journaling for me doesn't quite work out that often, but I still journal. Well, I still use a sketchbook. And for me, I guess sketching kind of is journaling for me, just without words. And I want to get into journaling. It's just also like, I'm so tired and sad that all I can do sometimes is like force myself to draw. Like, it's either I'm gonna draw or I'm gonna journal. And so it's like, well, are you sure you want to be giving advice? But yeah, I do. Sometimes it's good to put things on paper, because when you put things on paper, you feel like you're real, you know? When I'm done with the sketchbook, I close it and it's mine, and I can hold it physically and know that it was me. It was me who made this. And every single page has something on it. Every single page. Sometimes not on the back, or where, depends on how you're opening it, I guess. Sometimes it's not on the back, but like every page has something and has memories. And I remember like every line almost. Like, it just feels so good to own something that you know you really like put something into. And especially recording this now, you know, like I'm like, wow, like look at all the stuff I did. And this is one of my favorite pages. This is of Qiarateor, who I actually met in person, who is the writer of first of all, a bunch of books, a bunch of like sci-fi young adult books. They're Afro science fiction, not Afrofuturism. I remember she says that a lot, but I don't remember what else. But then she also wrote Shuri, like Black Panther Shuri, like she is on her shit, and she's Nigerian, and I'm Nigerian, and I got her autograph, and I don't think I'll ever be the same after meeting her, because she's so like cool, and she loves bugs, and like it feels like, now that I say that, it feels like my life was like, through meeting her, my life was slightly shaped by that. And now I have this page with her signature in my sketchbook, like, because I brought it everywhere. Like, I literally brought it everywhere. And now I know for sure that this was during the end of my college days, because I mean, Qiarateor is in here. And she calls herself an African futurist. There it is. It's not Afrofuturism, it's African futurism, because she writes in the African, like truly in Africa. Like, all of her books are based in Africa, but they are in English, but they draw so much inspiration from Africa, and not just Nigeria, but like a bunch of places, because she also travels, and she's just so freaking cool. And I've got this page dedicated to her, and I'm like, And so this is character design. Character design is fun. Everyone should try it. There is no reason to not try drawing. Like, even if you say you suck, take one of those courses. There's like a bunch of courses, like online, like so many courses by now. There's freaking Skillshare. There's like, Skillshare is literally everywhere, first of all. Like, I'm not even gonna tell you I'm promoted by Skillshare, because I am not that big yet. But there are so many courses that are about like turning your doodles into something more, or you can draw, and like, come on. Yeah, like, you know, like that there are some that are free too. Like, I don't know, YouTube the world is so full of information and ways that you can create that at this point, like, I don't see why not try. Like, even if you don't love it, you know, doodling is good for you. It's good for your brain. I don't have any research on that, but I know that the research exists, which means that it is good for your brain, just like flossing. Think of doodling like flossing. Anyways, the point of all of this is just, oh god, this is the ugliest thing I've ever drawn in my whole freaking life. Like, I have nightmares about this damn picture. I have nightmares. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, the point is, if you want to draw. If you want to create. Keep a sketchbook. I don't know, like, it can be small. It can be one of those moleskins. You can spend a bunch of money and get one of the leather bound ones, and that's how you know it'll be extra special. And there are so many things. There are so many possibilities. You can literally, okay, this is gonna sound really funny because, I mean, like, who would do this? But I would do this. That's why I'm saying it. You could literally get a highlighter and just spend time drawing lines on the page and just like blanking out. And you know what that is? That's meditative. That is called cognitive rest. That is something that we all need in our day-to-day lives when our brains are so active and our brains are just trying to keep up with what we're doing. Sorry, this just distracted me because this was a drawing of my friends and I like messed it up. Anyways, but the world is so proactive and there are so many thoughts that are constantly racing in our brain, and so it's good sometimes to just take a step back. Wow, I really couldn't fucking say that. Is there something anyways, take a step back, breathe, and keep going. You can literally draw lines. That is good for you. No one can judge you for what you do in your free time. We are so obsessed with constantly being productive that we've forgotten how it feels to just exist. And I just really hope that everyone is taking extra care to be extra kind to themselves currently. So I'll just speak about these last pieces before I head out on this video, because it has been going for a while and I will not be speeding this up because it is exactly to my voice. But yeah, so this is a bunch of Princess Bubblegum and Marceline stuff, but only a little bit. This is just a bit. And then 11/11 passed and I started making wishes. I wish to be happy, I wish for love, success, and I just kept repeating it and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And I wish I will make people proud, because I really do be sad sometimes. This was a draw in my style that I did, that I never uploaded on Instagram. Most of these I didn't upload on Instagram. This was a 3-color challenge that I had a lot of fun doing, inspired by drawing with Waffles, because she just picks 3 colors and comes up with an idea, and I got these 3 colors. Barely used the orange, so it counts, but I had fun with it. Some more drawings. This one is on my Instagram, and it is one of my favorite things that I've done because it's so cool looking, and I don't say that often about myself, but it's so cool looking. And then I ended with a few more tributes to artists I love, like Tameka, Iraville, Piccolo, who I actually have the 2 books by, Raven and Beast Boy, the Teen Titans graphic novels, and I'll do a little video on graphic novels at some point once I actually have all the ones that I really freaking want and like. But yeah, so Piccolo, Myrmidia, and Ramiboro, and I love them for different reasons. I might do a video on the people that inspire me. And then I don't know what this is. Wait. Oh, Oh, Posca pens. I got Posca pens. Ooh, this feels weird. Because it's acrylic. Or paint. Whatever. Anyways. Thank you for watching. And I hope you guys remember to take extra care of yourselves during this time. And treat yourselves with the love and kindness that you deserve. Because you know what? You deserve to be happy. Okay. Bye.